NutriPlan ZincPlus กับหัวข้อเจาะลึกข้อมูลผลิตภัณฑ์ NutriPlan ZincPlus โดยดร.พาเวล เวียทรักผู้อำนวยการฝ่ายเทคโนโลยีบริษัทไซโตไซม แลบอราทอรี่อิงจำกัด
Sawadee krap. Hello everyone. This is Pavel Viatrak. I've been working with Cytosam for 7.5 years now, where I provide technical support as a director for technical support. Before working for Cytosam, I worked in academia for about 19 years, providing support to growers, helping them solve problems, and finding the best management practices to maximize yield and quality. Today, I have the opportunity to talk to you about the NutriPlan ZincPlus. And I will show you why zinc is important and how we can maximize the yield with the application of NutriPlan ZincPlus. According to FAO, zinc is one of the most deficient nutrients. Based on 190 trials in 15 countries, about 50% of the trials were deficient in zinc. At the global level, 50% of the soils used for the agricultural crops and more than 2/3 of the rice grown worldwide are deficient in zinc. There are many different reasons why there is a deficiency of zinc in the soil. Generally, it could be due to poor sandy soils with low organic matter content, where there is not much zinc available in the soil. Another reason is a soil pH, which is either too high or too low, which limits the availability of zinc to plants. Another reason, which is very common in Asia, is that zinc is located deeper in the soil. When you have seedlings, let's say rice for example, the root development is still small and cannot reach zinc located deeper in the soil. Because of that, we see zinc deficiency. One way to reduce this deficiency would be to apply zinc during the growing season to help reduce the deficiency and improve the yield. Because any nutrient there is deficient, either in the early or later growing stages, will reduce the yield and quality. So, what do we normally see when there is a zinc deficiency? You could see smaller leaves, malformed leaves, and yellowing leaves, which is really common. The growth of plants is usually suppressed. Plants are stunned and cannot grow much. These would be some indicators that there is a deficiency of zinc. Also, the fruit set is reduced, so there are less fruits on plants. Even though the fruits may develop, they may be still small and unable to fully develop. The plants would also be more susceptible to stress, similar to humans. If something is missing in our bodies, for example, one of the nutrients, we are physically weaker. Our immune system is weaker, and we are more susceptible, for example, to diseases. So it's important that we pay attention to what is happening in the plant and make sure there is enough zinc, especially in the areas where the soils are commonly deficient in zinc. So why is zinc so important at the plant level? Zinc helps with root growth. As you know, root development is very important because with the larger roots, the uptake of the nutrients and water is much better, and the plant can grow better and lead to higher yield. Zinc is also important in the defense against the abiotic and biotic stress. With an insufficient level of zinc, plant will be more affected by the environmental stress and diseases. Zinc also affects the uptake of many nutrients and water through the root system. So we have to make sure that we provide zinc early in the growing season. Don't wait with the application. maybe collect leaf samples early during the growing season for nutrient analysis. When you see visual effects of the nutrient deficiency, it's already late. With every day of deficiency, the yield and the quality will be reduced. Zinc is also important in the internode elongation and formation of pollen and grain. It generally affects the bloom stage. If the flowering or fruit set is poor, one of the key components, like zinc, could be limited. So it's important to apply zinc before the bloom stage to improve flowering, fruit set, and grain formation. Zinc also helps with plant maturity and improve the yield and quality. We can also look at the importance of the zinc at the molecular and cellular levels. Zinc helps to stabilize the plant RNA and DNA structure, which are especially important during the reproductive stages. Zinc also plays an important role in gene expression. Insufficient zinc affects the expression of the genes in the plant and many metabolic processes that are connected with the gene expression. Zinc helps with optimizing the synthesis of proteins important for producing high quality yield. Additionally, zinc helps regulate the synthesis of phytohormones important in the metabolic processes of the plant. Zinc is very important for sugar formation. With limited amount of zinc, the sugar formation will be reduced. So what is happening at the cellular level? I mentioned earlier that plants can be more susceptible to stress due to the low zinc concentration and therefore higher overproduction of the reactive oxygen species. This may lead to damage of cell organelles and cell wall and release of electrolytes. The surface of the leaves become yellow and later brown. You may be thinking, well, that's fine, some yellow or brown spots are not going to affect my yield. But they will affect the yield. Because with less photosynthesis, which correlates with yield, it will reduce both the yield and quality. So we have to help plants overcome stress and reduce the overproduction of the reactive oxygen species. A plant functioning at the maximum level will produce a higher quality yield. Zinc also helps against oxidation of the membrane lipids, proteins, chlorophyll, and enzymes, all of which are very important. As you know, if the integrity of the cell, especially of the cell wall or the cell membrane, is affected, then the plant cells cannot function at their full capacity and the plant health is reduced. NutriPlant ZincPlus contains two components. One, the mineral component. Two, the organic component. The mineral component contains 10% of the zinc. The organic component contains natural ligands, for example, amino acids, carboxylic acids, and carbohydrates. They are helping with the nutrient absorption and translocation in the plant. I will talk a little more about the ligands. Essentially, ligands donate the atoms and bond together with the minerals. Based on the structure, depending on how many organic ligands we have, we can have a single bond with the mineral and ligand, which is called monodente, or we can have a chelate, which has multiple bonds. An example of the chelate is zinc combined with multiple amino acids, carboxylic acids, and carbohydrates. This is typically the most efficient way to prepare nutrient for the absorption and translocation through plant tissue. Nutrient can be quickly absorbed and utilized in plants. Now let's talk about the differences in products on the market, such as the difference between synthetically chelated EDTA, which is very common on the market, and naturally chelated NutriPlant ZincPlus. EDTAs were developed years ago and are great for soil application, since they prevent nutrients from being tied up with the soil particles due to a strong bond. However, when they are applied to leaves, because of larger molecular weight and size, they are mostly absorbed through leaf stomata, when leaf stomata are open. The rest of EDTA product may be sitting on leaves for a few days or weeks or even longer, depending on the rain. Then whatever was not absorbed through the leaf stomata will go down to the soil with the rain, where it can be absorbed through the root system. But this may occur late, potentially near the end of the season, and thus not helpful in correcting deficiency. Also, when you have EDTA, whatever is left on the leaf surface for a longer period of time may lead to phytotoxicity. The leaves may become yellow or brown and will affect the photosynthesis and yield. Even if the EDTA is absorbed by the plant has to use more energy to dissociate the zinc from EDTA and then utilize zinc. The EDTA compound may be toxic to the plant. So how does this compare to the natural chelation? With natural chelation, the nutrient, for example zinc, is combined with multiple amino acids, carboxylic acids, and carbohydrates, and the molecular weight and size is still very small. Whenever you apply the nutrient to leaves, naturally chelated zinc can be easily absorbed not only through leaf stomata but also cuticle, where the water can penetrate. The absorption occurs within hours. So if there's rain comes 8 or 10 hours later, zinc application is still effective. We don't have to respray the plants because zinc at that time will be efficiently utilized in the plant. The bond between the organic ligands, for example, multiple amino acids, carboxylic acid and carbohydrates, and the nutrient is not very strong. So the plant can easily dissociate and utilize not only zinc, but also, for example, the amino acids, which are the building blocks for proteins. Consistently, based on research trials comparing to synthetic EDTA, naturally chelated products have better performance and produce higher yield and quality. One of the questions you may have is how much zinc we need to supply to plants and whether it's sufficient to make one application. Generally, the more biomass the plant produces, the more nutrients it needs. The nutrients can be supplied through the root system. It can be applied through foliar application. When you look at the biomass of rice, for example, at 140 days, it's about 4 tons per hectare. At 180 days, the biomass reaches 12 tons per hectare. This is a lot. At the same time, concentration of the zinc in the plant is between 18 and 50 parts per million. So how much zinc is really required? Rice requires 72 to 100 grams per hectare of zinc at 140 days. When it reaches 180 days, it requires 216 to 600 grams per hectare of zinc. Just one application of NutriPlant ZincPlus at 500 milliliters per hectare will supply about 77 grams of zinc per hectare. So, how does it compare to how much the plant needs? One application will supply 36 to 109% of the required zinc to the 140-day-old rice crop. The 180-day-old crop requires more nutrients. One application we can cover 12 to 36% of the required zinc, and 3 applications can supply 36 to 109% of the required zinc. If there is a substantial deficiency, we should start applying at the earlier stages of crop development, and more frequently to make sure that we reduce the nutrient deficiency as much as possible. Now, how much zinc can be absorbed in the plant? First, after the application, zinc is usually absorbed by the leaf stomata. We can detect the absorption of the zinc first in the guarding cells for up to 2 hours. After that, zinc is well distributed to other cells through the cell walls and utilized in the plant, and this process can last for about 24 to 48 hours. The question you may have is, how quickly can it be absorbed and detected in the plant? We were looking at what was happening in the guarding cells of leaf stomata. We compared the zinc application versus control, which was just water application, to have some kind of comparison. We detected twofold gene upregulation just 15 minutes after the application of zinc for the zinc transport gene. After 2 hours, we detected 120-fold increase in the gene expression. What it means? There were more messenger RNAs with specific amino acids produced, which help with utilization of the zinc in the plant. So how does the naturally chelated zinc in NutriPlant ZincPlus compares to other products on the market? Compared to the control, water, and zinc in the form of the salt, EDTA and lignosulfonates, with the application of naturally chelated zinc, NutriPlant ZincPlus, we were able to improve the gene upregulation 30 to 40 times more than other products on the market. Higher gene upregulation helps to utilize zinc more efficiently in the plants. Here is another example looking at the leaf zinc concentration. We compared the naturally chelated zinc to salts, lignosulfonates, EDTA, and amino acids. Zinc concentration in the leaves was the highest after the application of naturally chelated zinc when compared to other products. It was on average more than 10% higher than other products on the market. Here is another example looking at the rice yield. We often talk about being more efficient with the application. So how products compare in improving the yield? For example, the zinc sulfate was applied at only 85 grams per hectare. Zinc EDTA at 43 grams per hectare, and naturally chelated zinc at 42 grams per hectare. The rice yield increased with zinc sulfate by 3.3%, zinc EDTA by 8.5%, and naturally chelated zinc by 17.5%. As you can see, naturally chelated zinc was applied at the lowest rate, only 42 grams per hectare, but produced the highest yield. It was due to quicker absorption because of low molecular weight, and also due to gene upregulation, which helped with utilization of zinc, leading to improved yield. So products with naturally chelated nutrients are more efficient compared to other products on the market. Here we have some other examples of how efficient it can be in rice production, especially in the areas where the soils are commonly deficient in the zinc. In 2016, in the first location, we compared few applications of NutriPlant ZincPlus, 350 milliliters per hectare, 500 milliliters per hectare, 650 milliliters per hectare, and also 2 applications of NutriPlant ZincPlus at 500 milliliters per hectare. For one single application, NutriPlant ZincPlus was applied at 15 to 30 days after transplanting, and the 2 applications of NutriPlant ZincPlus were done first at 15 to 30 days after transplanting, and second, 1 week before panicle initiation. Generally, the higher the application rate of NutriPlant ZincPlus, the higher the rice yield. The yield increased by 6.7% with NutriPlant ZincPlus application at 350 milliliters per hectare, 9% at 500 milliliters per hectare, and 11.4% at 650 milliliters per hectare, and close to 12% at 500 milliliters per hectare applied 2 times. Sometimes with the higher zinc deficiency, we may need 2 applications, but many times 1 application early in the growing season is very beneficial when the roots are still small. Here is the second location in 2016. We also compared different application rates of NutriPlan ZincPlus. 350 milliliters per hectare, 500 milliliters per hectare, 650 milliliters per hectare, all applied 1 time at 15 to 30 days after transplanting. And we also had NutriPlan ZincPlus applied at 500 milliliters per hectare, applied twice, 15 to 30 days after transplanting, and the second one 1 week before panicle initiation. The yield increased by 5.8% with application of NutriPlan ZincPlus at 350 milliliters per hectare, 7.2% at 500 milliliters per hectare, and 8.5% at 650 milliliters per hectare. For 2 applications of NutriPlan ZincPlus at 500 milliliters per hectare, we improved the yield by 9%. Here is another example in 2017. We applied NutriPlan ZincPlus at 350 milliliters per hectare, 500 milliliters per hectare, and 650 milliliters per hectare. Zinc was applied the same way as in the previous trials, at 15 to 30 days after transplanting, which is the optimum time. So, with the application of NutriPlan ZincPlus at 350 milliliters per hectare, we improved the yield by 1.5%. At 500 milliliters per hectare, we increased the yield by 2.7%. And with the highest rate of 650, we improved the yield by 6.3%. You may think about saving on the product and applying maybe half rate or less. Doing that, you may not get as much of a benefit because the plant will still be deficient in zinc. So it's important to supply enough zinc for the plant to maximize yield. This is like for us humans. When we take only half of the medicine, half of the mineral, half of the vitamins that we should, we may not get all the nutrients we need. So of course, it will affect our health and keep us from functioning at their full potential. You may be weak and susceptible, for example, to diseases. So it's very important that we provide the nutrients to plants early during the growing season and what is needed to make sure, especially in the soils that are deficient in zinc, that the zinc deficiency is significantly decreased or even eliminated. We often question, we are increasing the yield. Are we also changing the zinc concentration in the grain with the application of the NutriPlan ZincPlus? We compare different rates of NutriPlan ZincPlus at 350 milliliters per hectare, 500 milliliters per hectare, and 650 milliliters per hectare to see how much we are improving the zinc concentration in the grain of rice. NutriPlan ZincPlus was applied 1 time at 15 to 30 days after transplanting, which is early in the season and during the seedling stages. With the application of NutriPlan ZincPlus at 350 milliliters per hectare, we improved the zinc concentration in the grain by 5.1%. At 500 milliliters per hectare, we increased the zinc concentration by 18.2%. And with the 650 milliliters per hectare, which was the highest rate of NutriPlan ZincPlus in the trial, by 22.5%, which is very beneficial for us because we consume rice and at the same time consume appropriate amount of the zinc. It helps to improve our health. In 2017, we look at the different rates of NutriPlan ZincPlus. Even higher rates and applied 500 milliliters per hectare, 625 milliliters per hectare, 1000 milliliters per hectare, and 1250 milliliters per hectare. NutriPlant Zinc Plus was applied from 15 to 30 days after transplanting rice. With the application of NutriPlant Zinc Plus at 500 ml per hectare, we improved the rice yield by 9.6%. Then by 12.5% with the application of NutriPlant Zinc Plus at 625 ml per hectare. By 16.7% with 1000 ml per hectare. And by 18.9% at the rate of 1250 ml per hectare. As you can see, in soils highly deficient in zinc, the more zinc we apply, the higher the yield. In 2018, we applied NutriPlant Zinc Plus at 350 ml per hectare, 500 ml per hectare, and 650 ml per hectare at 15 to 30 days after transplanting rice. And 2 applications of NutriPlant Zinc Plus at 500 ml per hectare. First applied at 15 to 30 days after transplanting, then applied the second time 1 week before panicle initiation. We improved the yield by 2.3% with the application of NutriPlant Zinc Plus at 350 ml per hectare, 4.2% with the application of 500 ml per hectare, by 11.2% with the application of 650 ml per hectare, and increased the yield by 4.6% with 2 applications of NutriPlant Zinc Plus at 500 ml per hectare. Now let's look at the concentration of zinc in the grain in 2018. We applied NutriPlant Zinc Plus at 350 ml per hectare, 500 ml per hectare, 650 ml per hectare, and made 2 applications of NutriPlant Zinc Plus at 500 ml per hectare. For all these applications, the first application was made at 15 to 30 days after transplanting, and second application for the last treatment was done 1 week before panicle initiation. The application of NutriPlant Zinc Plus increased the zinc concentration by 3.6% at 350 ml per hectare, by 7.6% at 500 ml per hectare, by 13.6% at 650 ml per hectare, and by 18.6% with 2 applications of NutriPlant Zinc Plus at 500 ml per hectare. So also you can see the same trend where the more zinc applied to the plant, the higher the zinc concentration. In summary, it's a very unique product. It's a combination of the nutrient with the natural ligands. Because of this bond, where the nutrient is combined together with the multiple amino acids, carboxylic acids, and carbohydrates, it helps improve the absorption and utilization of the nutrient in the plant. It also helps to improve gene upregulation. Another benefit we see with the naturally chelated zinc is better and quicker nutrient uptake and utilization. What we saw compared to other products was higher performance and improved yield and quality, which includes higher zinc concentration in the grain. Overall, we have seen a great performance from application of NutriPlant Zinc Plus. It's very safe to apply, easy to apply, and can be applied along with other products at the same time. All of these products and these NutriPlant products are very important. I don't know if I would exclude any of the products if I were managing crops, because every product has a unique and beneficial function. The interaction of these products greatly help improve crop yield and quality. Thank you so much for your attention and patience. Later I will be answering some questions. Again, thank you so much. Carpo crop. Hello everyone, this is Pavel Wiatrak. I will be answering some questions about the NutriPlant Zinc Plus. Regarding the residual effect, using other formulations of zinc available on the market, sometimes we may have some stains and some residues on fruits and vegetables. When you use NutriPlant Zinc Plus, the nutrient is combined with multiple amino acids, carboxylic acids, and carbohydrates to improve absorption and translocation of zinc in the plant. Typically, you won't see negative effects from the application of NutriPlant ZincPlus. When you use EDTA, for example, the EDTA part of the chelation could be toxic to the plant. With NutriPlant ZincPlus application, the nutrient and the amino acids, for example, can be utilized in the plant. Amino acids are the building blocks of proteins, which contribute to the yield. Generally, there is no issue when mixing NutriPlant ZincPlus with other products. We still recommend doing a jar test to make sure there is no issue with the precipitation. I understand there could be some issue with mixing calcium boron with other products because of calcium reacting with other nutrients. It's not the same for the NutriPlant ZincPlus, but we still recommend spraying the mix the same day, preferably early in the morning. NutriPlant ZincPlus is designed for foliar application and not so much for soil application. Why? Because the nutrients are combined with multiple amino acids, carboxylic acids, and carbohydrates. So the bond is not as strong as EDTA zinc, which is recommended for the soil application. If we apply products based on natural chelation to the soil, nutrient could be partially tied up with the soil particles because of the soft bond and easy dissociation between nutrient and natural ligands. You can have some benefits from multiple applications of NutriPlant zinc to the soil at a very high rate. However, it may not be cost effective. Therefore, I recommend applying NutriPlant ZincPlus directly to plants in a foliar application to get the highest benefits. NutriPlant AG has a very small amount of the zinc. If we talk about correcting nutrient deficiency with AG, it's good for the conditions where zinc deficiency is small. However, we focus on high nutrient deficiency in the soil and plants. The only way to correct a high zinc deficiency in plants is to apply the NutriPlant ZincPlus. Of course, NutriPlant ZincPlus and AG can be applied together. We even recommend applying these products together to improve the efficiency of the NutriPlant ZincPlus in the plant and have many other benefits which come with the application of AG, such as helping plants to overcome stress. I'd like to thank you for your patience. I hope you can share this information with your neighbors and friends and that more people can start applying NutriPlant ZincPlus to their crops, not only to decrease nutrient deficiency but also improve yield and quality, which would be very beneficial for us because we eventually will consume the fruits and vegetables. So thank you again. Carpal crop.